Good morning. There are three important questions emerging from yesterday's Supreme Court judgment here in London. I'm not a political pundit but a social commentator, and as such my interest is in the public perception aspects of this entire saga. What does it do to levels of public trust in institutions which are at an historic low? The first of these questions is this: what does the judgment mean for the Queen and the Council which, acting on her instruction, commanded the closing of Parliament? Her Majesty was doing what she is by convention meant to do, following the advice of her Prime Minister. The Queen is now placed in a position that the Palace and successive governments have worked hard to avoid, where she, as head of state, is at the centre of a political crisis. The second question relates to the courts. Has the Supreme Court overstepped its proper bounds in ruling on a matter of political procedure? Is it, in this judgment, serving or subverting democracy? Prorogation is a part of normal parliamentary convention, a tool used by Prime Ministers of all stripes whenever a Queen's speech approaches. It's assumed that the timing of the recess will carry at least some political advantage for whichever PM is calling for it, and I suspect that for many Brits, not all of them Leave voters, questions will be asked as to whether the Supreme Court justices are wearing Remain preferences on their sleeves. Just the fact that people may be asking such a question bodes ill for our respected process of jurisprudence. The third question relates to the leadership in the House of Commons, or the lack of it. Yesterday's events leave us with yet another potential challenge to levels of public trust in our institutions. The biggest problem in this respect is not the courts, but Parliament. Its failure to realise Brexit reveals a sorry lack of leadership. In fact, a majority of MPs appear determined to overthrow the will of the majority expressed in a legal and binding referendum. We're seeing in this a total lack of strategic leadership. There's no leadership that looks beyond the immediate situation to identify the type of country we want to be in 10 or 15 years' time, and then establishes specific actionable steps to take us there. MPs collectively have proven on several occasions that even when they take over the business of Parliament, they can't command any meaningful majority in terms of a workable path to leaving the EU, carrying out the instruction the public has given them. This Parliament appears to have so atrophied in terms of leadership that it's more comfortable in the long term in trusting national leadership to a supranational body like the EU. The bottom line in all of this is that many Brits will be calling on MPs to do one of two things: either go to the electorate to see whether Boris Johnson's government can secure a majority, or find a way quickly to ensure that Brexit is carried out. Thanks for listening.